Hello guys and girls, and welcome to another episode of How We Roll. Today we're going to be adding another video to the 5 Things playlist, and Tom will be introducing his 5 things but with a difference. So enjoy the show and remember to subscribe.
Hello, this is my 5 Things video as requested by Bushra. It's going to be a bit different because I don't really hate things. It takes too much effort. I certainly have like tricky relationships with certain things, and so we're going to explore some of that. I have several Apple products. I hate Apple with a vengeance. I cannot stand them. I love their computers. I think in terms of computers they do everything right, apart from the MacBook Air. We won't talk about that. Or the mini iPad. So I like how they look, I like how they function. I don't care what anyone says. Their OS system is easier to use than a PC. It just is. It doesn't crash, and if it does crash, it's not the end of the world. It's all good, it's all shiny, it works. I hate the mentality that Apple users have about everything being wonderful and shiny.
But it is!
And everyone's taking everything that the current CEO says as gospel. They are a company, they are there to make their money and to sell their products. They are not revolutionary, they are a computer company. They are shiny, they look nice, and they don't crash. I hate this mentality of people who define themselves by their Apple products.
Come on, you must do every now and again, right?
No, I don't define myself by my Apple products, they work.
You can't live without your laptop.
I can't live without my laptop because I can't live without a laptop. It's just that Apple happens to do and make the product that I find easiest to use.
Shut up, I'm right. You can't live without your laptop or your phone.
You're a prime example of a frontline Apple purchaser. It's like, oh, it's Apple, it works, woo! This is what I don't like about Apple. There is no need. I will always use an Apple computer. I will never go back to PCs. It will never happen.
When did you last have a PC? Just out of curiosity.
When I had to schlep a laptop around in school to do notes on, and they gave me one free, and that was a extremely chunky but extremely reliable Dell computer, which worked fine but had a tendency to overheat and crash. And it crashed in the middle of my A-levels, my final exams, which was oh so much fun. It's not Apple products that I have a problem with. It's the mentality that goes with Apple products and PC users that use iTunes and iPods just because. Apple are very clever at putting themselves across as kind of the trendy man's thing to have.
The cool boy
Yeah, the cool boy thing. And I think if you're going to be a musician, I think personally there are going to be people who disagree with me. If you're going to be a musician, you need to run as much as possible on Mac. It's just easier to run sessions, and you know, if you've got an iPod and an iPhone, you can cross-platform and all the rest of it. But it's the fact that Apple mark up all their stuff and sell it for far more than needs to be sold. They make this whole thing about conventions, and you get these nerdy, specky people turning up and wanting to look at all the new stuff.
No, but it's expensive because of its design and the material.
Yeah, because it looks nice.
They use aluminium.
Yeah, because it looks nice.
Yeah, that's why it's pricey.
Yeah, but that's what gets me. They don't need to mark it up quite so much. Basically what I'm saying is there needs to be a compromise between the two main platforms. PC needs to make their OS systems less clunky because they've got the affordability, or Mac needs to lower their prices and not be so, oh, you need an iPod, it's trendy, oh, you need an... What is the point of an iPad Air? Anyway, it doesn't make any sense. But I love Apple products. I wouldn't be able to do without them. So I'm torn, and this conversation could go on and on forever. What's the next one?
Netflix.
Netflix. It's not so much Netflix. It's the whole streaming thing and the websites that essentially, without being too crude, eat up all your time. I can spend weeks.
But it's worth it.
What is?
Streaming on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm sure it is worth it, but I can spend weeks on YouTube just looking at drum videos. Drum porn, I call it, because it's like looking at guys who can play 100 times better than me and I'll never be able to play, so I just sit there crying and practicing at the same time, watching the videos. You know, Netflix. I introduced my mum to the concept of binge watching the other day.
Yay.
But it's not yay, is it? It kind of you sit there for hours. I've literally spent an entire Sunday watching some god awful program, and then you
with popcorn.
Not with popcorn. I don't do popcorn. You do popcorn.
Oh, not even salty popcorn.
No salty popcorn. It leaves you with that feeling afterwards. The whole thing of like. I mean, it's good in a way because you get to choose what you want to watch and you don't have to sit and watch Antiques Roadshow with your family. You don't have to.
Or Grand Designs.
Hey, listen, don't diss Grand Designs. We all know how I feel about Grand Designs. I'm learning anyway. That's. I'm gonna build my dream house.
Yay!
In my mind.
Am I invited?
Maybe.
Oh.
If you're good, and you need to learn to cook. My love-hate thing is the whole Netflix, YouTube. What's the other one? You know, Blinkbox, all the streaming sites where you can choose what you want to watch, and it's great because you have a choice to do so. But then you realise you haven't eaten in 3 days. And it's just really, really bad.
A great weight loss program.
Quite possibly. And you feel great because you're all up on the popular culture and it's all kind of, you know, you're caught up and you feel like you know these people and that you can go around for dinner and stuff.
What's the latest series that you've been streaming?
House, MD. Simply because...
I still have to check that out.
Yeah, I grew up in a medical family, so I kind of get it. And he's a grizzled cripple. And hello. I can relate, man! And it's kind of fun, and he's scathing and nasty and grizzled and kind of sexy. So that's the last thing I'm watching. But also with YouTube, I'll start wanting to look at something very sensible, and then I'll just end up looking at cooking recipes or drum porn or
Barry Lewis. Hi, Barry Lewis.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, mate. Yeah, so that's my other thing. The love-hate relationship of all streaming sites. Great, because you can watch what you want, but blimmin' annoying, because you forget to eat. I've realised that a lot of my stuff, or my love-hate relationships, has a lot to do with computers and the things you can do on computers. And this next one is no exception. Online shopping.
Yay, guilty.
Again, I can spend hours on eBay just making mental wish lists in my head. And saying, I want this and I want that and blah blah blah. Especially with drums. And I realise I've also been talking about drums, like you all know what I'm talking about. I play drums a lot. Sometimes for money, sometimes for cake, sometimes for beer. And there's a kind of fetishistic element to buying drums, buying anything, buying shoes, buying cars, buying anything.
Video games.
Yeah, video games, exactly. Anything you like. There's always this kind of ooh, quality. For those who don't know, I have many drum kits, and I have a really small one. And I was trying to find ways of connecting this to a bass drum, so I didn't have to carry extra stands. And I thought I was being clever, and oh, it's lightweight, you know, 2 fingers, whatever, bendy. I thought I was being clever. It came through the post, and it's rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish. That is one of the things I don't like about online shopping. You take an absolute risk buying anything online because you can't check it out properly. I thought I was being clever. It was coming all the way from America. I thought that's what I want. That's the one for me. I just connect it to my drums and make it work and make it shiny. Choosing to ignore the fact that they expressly said in the description that it was not designed for the purpose that I had intended it for, but I ignored that and said, they don't know what they're talking about, and it came through the post, and lo and behold, it didn't work. This is the problem with online shopping. Having said that, I've only had about 4 or 5 purchases that have been a bit crap.
What's been your biggest purchase?
My biggest purchase online, well, I buy most things online. I bought a pedal online and I don't use it. I sold it, I got rid of it, but it was just like,
Why didn't you use it?
It was just one of those things you think that you're going to need something for a musical situation or whatever, and then you buy it and then you don't use it. And I can't be happy if I know I've got loads and loads of gear and I'm not using it. I know I have loads and loads of stuff. I have tons of stuff, tons of snares, tons of cymbals, tons of drums, but I use all of it, pretty much. And the things that I don't use, I'm intending to sell over Christmas and blah blah blah. Putting loads of stuff in and then not using it. But eBay, Amazon, which is a whole other thing I don't like.
Yay for Amazon!
No, tax evasion, bad. Well, I'm sure eBay do the same thing. But it's just like, it's so easy to just go bang, click, bang, I want that, I want that, I want that, you know. And there's that whole other thing of drunk purchasing. It's so bad. It's so bad. You have my drum kit, my blue drum kit in there, which you might have seen. I bought that drunk because I knew I needed one, and I was with a friend of mine. I just went, "Oi, mate, I'm going to do it." And I did. Just bang, no consideration, no anything. It's good in a way because I'm in a wheelchair and it gives you independence and you don't have to traipse up and down to the West End and buy all kinds of things. But if I wasn't sensible, I'd be bankrupt. I really would be bankrupt. And online shopping for groceries is another thing as well, because sometimes they don't describe things as well as they ought to. And I remember when I first started doing online grocery shopping.
When was that?
What, 7 years ago now. I've lived here 7 years. And I thought, okay, yeah, I'm going to do some online grocery shopping. I know I want some bananas. I clicked on what I thought was going to be a bunch of bananas, and 1 banana turned up. You know, you're not going to do that if you go to a supermarket, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, Lidl, whatever. You're not going to intentionally purchase 1 banana unless you know you're going to eat it that day or whatever. So yeah, that's one of my other ones. Online shopping is great because you have a level of independence and you can, you know, internet, everything's at your fingertips, but it just leads you to all kinds of depravity and bankruptcy. Don't do it, kids.
Number 4!
You were golfing. Honestly.
Come on down!
It's like blind date. Didn't I have 3 people in blind date? Anyway, yeah, this one might be a bit strange considering I've just spent the last 100 years talking about drums and how great they are. But it's kind of a weird love-hate relationship with musicians. But gigging, for me, is a bit of a pain, especially if... basically, when you've got a show day, it takes up your entire day. You have to get up, or I have to get up. I have to make sure I've eaten well. I have to make sure, you know, I've got all my bits and pieces together. So the returns you get from preparing for a gig and actually playing a gig, for me personally, aren't necessarily...
Let's not forget about the pre-gigs, like rehearsals.
Well,
and
exactly.
stuff.
That's what I mean. It's kind of... Gigging is great and it's supposed to be what it's all about and everything else. And it is, and it's absolutely, and it's the best thing in the world when your band's on fire, especially as a drummer. And most times, the reason why your band is on fire is because you're playing well. Being on fire, by the way, is a good thing. It's not, people aren't running around screaming, going, ah! But that's generally what you want to achieve. You want to get the whole audience dancing and the band.
What, being like Tom Jones? You know, with girls and stuff.
Not necessarily. Oh, you have me worried there. Why am I like Tom Jones? Not necessarily, but you know, you want to create that chemistry, you want to get people up and dancing, you want to give the audience the feeling that they are in capable hands. As soon as an audience feels like they're watching an amateur band, you kind of you lose them a bit. Anyway, I'm going off track. But to prepare and play at that level, it takes a lot of your time and space, and you have to kind of make sure you're eating well, make sure you know where you're going, make sure you know where the venue is, and especially for me, being a disabled musician, it's kind of it takes more preparation because I have to make sure that I can manage the venue. I have to make sure I've eaten doubly because, quite frankly, the effort of getting up on stage and getting myself behind the drum kit, I'm knackered even before I've even started playing a note. So I have to be.
I seriously don't know how you do it. It's just like amazing, the fact that you, because you have come across venues that have stairs, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, but if I didn't do it, I wouldn't play.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of...
Determination, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's not determination, it's just, I want to play drums. It's not, I haven't got like I'm not preordained to play drums, or, you know, playing drums for me and playing drums well is one of the best feelings in the world. And if you're on stage and your band is cooking, then that beats everything. I forget how difficult it is. I forget, you know, that every single person in that room has seen my arse when I'm getting up on stage. You know, you just forget it. And I think we've spoken about this before, or I have on my channel, but the preconceptions that people have about disabled musicians, if you play well and you turn up and yeah, they can see it's an effort, but if you play well and you sit down and they can see it's a struggle, but you're still managing to do your thing and you do it better than most people, that completely resets all their preconceptions or what they thought they knew about disability. And that, not that I'm kind of out to prove everybody wrong every minute of every day, but it kind of happens just because you're disabled and you're doing something that able-bodied people do and you do it well. And that's a great thing, but on the other side of it, I know that that's going to happen. I know that venues are going to be tricky and I have to adjust accordingly, and that can be like, well, you know, I sleep all the damn time, don't I? It's like you're up on the computer and by 11:30, 12 at night I'm gone because I know I've got to prepare for the next day.
I swear I must have insomnia or something because I'm just like up all night.
No, like I said, you're just a frontline Apple purchaser and you like to stroke your Apple products.
No! Guys, I'm not like that, I promise.
No. Yeah, but I think even if you took the disability thing out of it, I think a lot of musicians would have a kind of love-hate relationship with gigging because we live and breathe for playing shows and recording and all that kind of stuff. But
can we do a shout out?
To what?
To the band.
Oh, what, Mingus Band?
Yeah.
Hey guys!
Hi Mingus! They're great, check them out.
Facebook, minguselasticband.com, I think. Find me and find them, whatever. I'm not here to plug them, they're alright, they're busy. But I think every musician has a love-hate relationship with gigging and stuff because it is a lot of travelling and it is a lot of waiting around, and it is a lot of kind of, you get to a point where you expect things to go wrong, and if things don't go wrong before the gig, you get nervous. It's kind of like, and it's I have a friend, he calls that run up to a gig, he calls that PMT.
PMT?
Yeah, pre-musical tension. And that's exactly what it is. It's just like, you know, but as soon as you're out there and you're playing and it's going well, if you're playing badly, that's a whole different thing. But you know, that happens. But if you're playing well, you forget it all. But in that moment, I cannot tell you how many gigs I've wanted to do, and I've been driving to, and I've been sitting there and we're late and we're running late and the gear's not working properly. It's like, oh, this is it, I quit. I'm going to arrange flowers for the rest of my life or whatever. And then if the band's good and you get up on stage and it just goes click and you're away and it's all good. But it's that constant sort of, it's a love-hate thing, because you want a gig and that's what being a musician is all about. But it's the sitting around, and even I quite like travelling, but it's tedious, man. It's just, yeah. So any young kids out there wanting to be musicians,
it's all for the music, man.
well, it has to be. You're not going to make any money unless you sell your soul. Anyway, I'm old and cantankerous. Don't listen to me. Watch X Factor if you want, but don't. And, yeah, that'll do. Is that 4 or 5? I don't know.
4.
Oh, damn. I've got to think of something else. Alright.
We're going to keep rolling?
Give me a minute.
We're rolling.
Oh.
We're rolling.
Where are you going? People. I hate all of them. No, not really. It kind of, again, it ties in with the musician thing, because you can't have musicians without having people or punters. But that means that you have to be around crowds a lot of the time. I can't do it. I love having a big crowd and playing in front of a crowd and getting people, like I said, getting people up and dancing. But as soon as that's all finished, the last thing I want to do is be in a crowded room. It's partly because I'm lower than everyone else, so I'm arse height than everyone else. And if there's dodgy food going around, that's not fun. It's just not fun, and you can't move. And generally, if you're in a building like that, you can't get to the loo, and it's just but it kind of ties in with everything else.
So you'll never go into shopping centres?
Well, no. That might as well have been Mr. Satan himself going, how can we piss Tom off the most? I know, let's build a shopping centre. That's no, it's just not going to happen. Brent Cross, no them.
Westfield,
no that. See?
Bluewater.
Ties in with the online shopping. That's what I do. Crowds of people really don't do it for me, if I'm in them.
What about restaurants?
Restaurants, if I've got my back to the crowd, I can kind of deal with it, and if the food's good, then as far as I'm concerned, the restaurant could catch fire and I wouldn't care. You know what it is? It's that hum, that blah, 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 hum thing, and people
background noise.
That people talking and me not necessarily being able to
tune in,
but I can't tune out from it either, so I find it very difficult. And so things like parties and get-togethers and people who know me, and we're just kind of, oh, Tom's phased out again. Leave him to it. Give him cake, he'll be alright. So crowds, I love them because I wouldn't be a musician if they didn't exist, but I hate them because they're loud and smelly and I have to see their asses a lot.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm hungry now. Food times. Thank you, everyone. See you later.
Cheers. We've come to the end of the episode. I'd like to thank Tom for participating in this one. And thanks for watching, thanks for joining us. Remember to like this video, share, subscribe, do whatever you have to do to get the word out there, because there's definitely more to come.